Good day and welcome to the channel. In this short video, we are going to provide a thorough review of that, which is the Hisense RF225C3CSEI. And we're going to go over what exactly all of that means. We're also going to explain how to get that thing on your Wi-Fi, and we'll go over a couple of shortcomings with it, as well as a couple of really nice features that you might be interested in. That is a 22.5 cubic foot refrigerator freezer with French doors, these super cool lack of handles, and water on the front, ice maker in the bottom. Let's go over the nomenclature first because it's not that complex. The RF just means refrigerator. The 225 is the number of square feet, 22.5. C3 is the counter height with 3 doors, the left, the right, and the freezer. The CS means stainless steel finish. And we've been using this for about a week now, and I've intentionally not wiped the doors or any other part of this fridge down so that you'd be able to see what it's like with real life usage. And you can see, yeah, no fingerprints, looks great. And then the last 2 letters are EI, and that's just a bunch of features, things like the water dispenser, Energy Star, and ice maker down below in the freezer, things like that. Okay, let's get to it. There were 4 main features that drew me to the fridge. The very first was the price for the features that you're getting. So this came in at about $1,500 Canadian. So for rough math, let's call it $1,100 US. And that's a sale price and a discount price. You can get it list price for about 1,800 Canadian. So let's call it 1,300 US in a pile of places, including Best Buy. The next thing I really liked was that. That's a 2-year warranty. Usually fridges have a 1-year warranty. So the extra year was pretty good. The third thing was the inverter, which is a little label right there. And what that does is set your compressor to not always come on full blast. It basically makes it way more efficient. And the cost increase for an inverter is easily covered by the price of the electricity within a couple of years. So if you're going to keep this for more than a few years, get one with an inverter. And the last thing was metal cooling. We'll show you, but there's a big metal plate in the back of the fridge, just a piece of stainless steel. And what that does is cool down so that when you open the fridge and the warm air swooshes in, it doesn't have as much impact on it as it does a normal fridge. Now, you might think it's just a piece of steel. That's correct. It's a big non-electric piece of steel. It's just a block. And lots of high-end fridges have it, like Thermador and Miele, but low-end fridges don't. And it makes a notable difference to the energy efficiency of the fridge again. Now, beyond that, this particular fridge fit our needs. We wanted a water dispenser, but not an ice dispenser. Why wouldn't you want an ice dispenser? Because it's going to break. All moving parts break, and nothing breaks quite like an ice maker. So even the delivery guys were saying, yeah, ice makers are just a giant pain in the butt. So unless you're going to use it all the time and you really need it, yeah, just go with water. And just before we get to opening it up and showing you what's inside, I wanted to explain that on the back, and I'll put up a little picture here, there's a metal imprint that says Cyclopentane. And I didn't know what that was, so I looked it up, and it turns out that is a newer, better type of insulation. It's better for the environment, it's less flammable, and it does a better job. Again, better for energy efficiency. And in today's world, energy efficiency really matters. Okay, let's get to opening this thing up and go through some features. Something else I really liked with this fridge was the handles, in particular the lack thereof. And you can see that after a week of using it, no fingerprints. And I have not wiped this, not even once. It's not gross behind here. It still looks great. So let's open this up and we'll go over a couple of limitations and a couple of features that they sell, and we'll explain if they actually make a difference. The first is that metal tech cooling plate at the back. It's just a big piece of stainless steel. We've already explained what that does. The second is they make a big deal about what they call surround LED lighting. And what that means is they've got 3 or 4 lights. Okay, that's nice. And it's LED, so it's not going to burn out and use a lot of electricity on you, which is good. Your water filter is up there and described there. The shelves are adjustable in the main fridge, but take a look at this. This is really unexpected and I think a silly limitation. These come out, but you only have the 3 spots that you can put these plastic bins, as opposed to the usual 5 or 6 spots. That was something I didn't even look for. I just thought it was really odd. One of the things I really liked were these extra bins. These are separated out so nicely, and in particular, for me, this drink bin at the bottom. This is just awesome. Just a really nice layout. Let's move on to the freezer. There are 3 trays here. That's where the ice goes. I don't have it on yet. And you can see that this is substantial. This is, you know, rack of ribs, right? And you can see it's able to hold a pile of them. Then I can slide that back and I'm able to have another thin row of other things. Let me get it from the side so you can get a better view. And then I've got 2 deep bins where I can put almost anything. In fact, this is so large, I'm probably going to get rid of my small deep freeze. Now, the last thing to go over before we provide our summary is this control panel, and in particular, something that they call ConnectLife. We could show you how to do this, but I wouldn't bother. We spent about 20 minutes trying to get this going, had some problems with it, and then we ended up calling support and dealing with the lovely Dwaynia. She was very, very helpful and knowledgeable, and I very much appreciated her. And with a little bit of expertise at my end, a little bit at her end, we were able to get this on the Wi-Fi. But in the end, all it lets you do is change these temperatures, which you can just easily do by doing this. So why you'd want to use the app, I don't know. Now, as far as numbers go, by the way, the Government of Canada, because that's where I am, says that the correct temperature for fridges is about 4 degrees and about -18 for the freezer. I found that either that number is off or I disagree with the Canadian government, and -18 is frozen solid. That is deep freeze stuff. So I've moved it down to 15. So overall, what do we think of the Hisense RF225C3CSEI? We freaking love the thing. I mean, as much as you can love a fridge, you know. It seems to be very efficient. It's quiet. It suits the character of this particular kitchen. And we like the advanced energy features like the great big block of steel in the back, metal cooling, and the inverter, as well as those handles. That's a cool feature. I didn't appreciate how much I would like them until we got it in. It's great. So would we recommend this? Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a great fridge. I've already recommended it to 2 other people. And as long as it stands up over time, I don't know what else I would ask for in a fridge. So hey, if you found this video useful, please give us the big thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. It helps so much with the Google algorithms. Subscribe is also appreciated. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can get a hold of us directly at www.urtech, that's www.urtech.ca, or you can leave a question or comment below. And if we don't get back to you, somebody else will on YouTube because everybody's got an opinion there. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.